Welcome to Three Count Commentaries. This is your host, Mongo Slade. Hey. AJ3, you're here early. You're here early. I appreciate that. Thank you. Today, we'll be doing the watch along. WrestleMania 13, as chosen by the audience. I actually forgot that Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin was on this show. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made this as an option. But it won pretty handily. So we're going to be watching WrestleMania 13 starting maybe 5 or 10 minutes after. We're going to give a couple of people more time to come in. Can you hear me, AJ3? Respond if you can hear me. Tweet something. Well, I mean, post something. I don't know. Chosen by the bots, I guess so. I was talking about the new generation for 2 damn weeks. I put up a watch along. They choose the fucking Attitude Era. All right. Well, now the channel's been demonetized already. Sorry. I will be eating snacks, so I'll try not to eat too much. But we decided to do a watch along. Had no idea CM Punk was going to nuke the internet again. We'll talk about that tomorrow. All right. Video's already recorded. So if you're coming here to talk about CM Punk, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm probably going to have to say that a bunch of times, but there's going to be an hour-long video tomorrow on this subject. First 20 minutes or so is going to be my thoughts. The next 30 likely to be smart tears. So if you've been waiting for the return of smart tears and you've been waiting for CM Punk, you're going to get a lot of it tomorrow. Not tonight, because I had no plans on talking about it tonight. We got a full slate. I should have done notes or something for WrestleMania 13, but I'm just going to go off the cuff. And we're just going to talk about everything that we see. Be sure to boot up your Peacock or however you're choosing to watch it. Maybe some people are choosing to watch it on DVD, which if I had my choice, that's what I would do. I do have WrestleMania 13 on DVD. I would watch it on DVD, but I do not have my DVD player currently. So I'm going to have to watch it on my tablet. So I'm going to be have my tablet running. So I'm going to have, of course, the volume turned down because, theme songs and stuff like that might get us copyright strike. We don't want that. So we're going to give a couple of minutes for more people to come in, and then we're going to start WrestleMania 13. How was everybody's day today so far? I got a Gatorade that I've had in the refrigerator for 2 weeks. Is it okay to drink a Gatorade you've had in the refrigerator for 2 weeks? You're not going to turn into like wax on me or nothing like that, is it? They ain't going to give me the bubble guts and make me want to die or nothing like that. Hopefully not. It's some kind of blue color. Glacier Freeze. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. It sounds like something from 2001. So I'm all about this. All right. Bennett just wants me to drink it. He wants me to get the bubble guts live on stream. I guess that'd be entertaining, huh? Keel over and pass out or something like that. It was something else I was going to say about the Sunday show. I think I want to do a watch along Sunday too. I was thinking about, I don't know if it'd probably be another WrestleMania, but I want to. This one's not that long. It's only 2 hours and 47 minutes, which is not nearly as long. I was going to do WrestleMania 12, like straight up. But I didn't want to watch Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. I did not want to watch that match for an hour. I literally wanted to avoid it. So I skipped because I forgot. I thought Bret and Austin was a different WrestleMania, but it's 13. So my bad, y'all. We got to watch Attitude Era stuff, which I had no plans of doing because I had been loving 1994, 1995 WWF Superstars. Can we do a Ruthless Aggression Era watch along? There were some good WrestleManias in the Ruthless Aggression Era. Yeah, I like that. I would support that one. All right, a couple of more seconds before we start WrestleMania 13. Let a couple more people come on in. Ruthless Aggression Era WrestleMania, I'm thinking 19 or 21. 23. Yeah. 23 is a good one. We could do WrestleMania 23. So WrestleMania 23. Maybe I'll give people a choice of 21, 22, or 23. And we'll do the winner. It's only going to be a couple of days because we'll be doing it Sunday. And the big run up to WrestleMania. next weekend. I was going to wait 10 minutes before we started this show. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it 10 minutes. WrestleMania 24. So from 21 to 24, that's too many options. I think I want to keep it like a succinct 2 or 3 options. Throughout this show, we'll come up with 2 or 3 options, but I understand everybody wants before 25. Even though I think 25 still is Ruthless Aggression era, I think that show kind of was not the best. But from 21 to 24, how about that? We'll make a decision before this thing ends. We'll see how many people come in and how many people are interested in what WrestleMania is. Then we'll put it to the larger community who will probably watch this video later or listen to it as a podcast while they're at work. All right. So now, since we're started, I want to reiterate again for the people who might not be there. CM Punk lit the internet on fire. We'll be talking about it tomorrow. So we're not going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about it tomorrow because we're going to have a long video on it. Do you consider 37, 38, and 39 will be the best WrestleMania trilogy in the current era? If I could remember anything from those shows, I would be able to answer, but I'm not even going to hold you up. I don't really remember anything after WrestleMania 30. It all just runs together after WrestleMania 30 because the numbers disappeared. So now I'm sitting here like, 37, what was the main event? 38, what was the main event? I don't know. CM pooped himself all over Instagram. That's what he did. All right, we're going to start this fire. Get ready to fire up your network. WrestleMania 13. We're going to get ready to get this thing started. Look, what's going on here? WrestleMania 13, what is the origin of the Attitude Era? He began WrestleMania 14 when Stone Cold won the title. No. The Attitude Era begins in late 96. You know, I would say the origin point would be, some people would say King of the Ring 96. I probably wouldn't say that. I would probably say late 96 when DX formally is put together and they start breaking all of these rules that USA Network had in place. I know some people are going to say, well, they want the biggest stars. Like, that's not the point. The point is, when did the era start? And I think the Attitude Era started with the Generation X. And then Vince, of course, officially came out sometime later and officially broke it up. Okay. Oh, 37 is the post-pandemic one, so 36 is the pandemic pick on Royal Rumble. Okay. In WrestleMania. All right. Are y'all ready? Are you ready to go? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. WrestleMania 13. I got a bottle of water and some Gatorade.
It's traditionally the grandest night in the World Wrestling Federation.
Okay.
WrestleMania.
No theme song.
Great spectacle. The granddaddy of sports entertainment.
The granddaddy of sports entertainment. Don't forget the kickoff show of WrestleMania 13. What if it's not on here? Yeah, I don't know. Undertaker versus Sid. I decided to give them top billing this time because that's a match I haven't seen in a long time. Austin and Hitman, I know that match backwards and forwards, but I haven't seen Sid and Undertaker in a long time. You know what? No, it's amazing. They didn't have a lot of matches before this, and I don't think they had any afterwards. So that makes this match really special in the Undertaker Sid category because it's a match that really only happened at WrestleMania. It didn't happen anywhere else. They didn't water it down by doing 100 of these. At least I don't think so. I don't remember them wrestling on Raw a bunch of times or nothing like that. So it truly feels like a WrestleMania match because the only way to watch it is to see WrestleMania. Special. Undertaker wrestling a giant. And if you look at the picture, you see Sid is actually taller than Undertaker is. So that was great. This video package is pretty damn good. This is the WWE strong suit. They tell visual stories very, very fucking well. With the showing you the growth of WrestleMania, the black and white chrome, that was great. The 13 being on fire is something. WrestleMania March 23rd, 1997. Wait a minute. That's today's date. Oh wow. Damn. This is the exact date to the day of WrestleMania 2013. Wow. I missed the old WrestleMania logo too. Um, when did they stop using the old WrestleMania logo? Was it 14? I think they stopped using the WrestleMania logo, the original WrestleMania logo. Same with Diesel and Undertaker was my favorite WrestleMania match for a long time. It was my favorite WrestleMania match for a long time, especially when I was a kid. I wasn't a big Diesel guy when I was a kid. I was a big Undertaker guy. But man, Diesel and Undertaker really got me my spurs jingling and jangling. Man, I love that match so much. That's why I wanted to do 12 really. But then I forgot Iron Man match, and I was like, do I really want to sit here and watch one match for an hour? No, I don't. I really don't. Howard Finkel, the blimp. You could tell it's still kind of new generation-y, even though because the blimp is still there. But all the Ico Pro stuff is gone. All that stuff is gone. Um, it's the Godwins. They're starting the show. Yeah, how great WrestleMania. We start with the Godwins for Christ's sake. There's not too many gimmicks I hate worse than the Godwins. The worst thing about the Godwins is how long they stayed around, though. It wouldn't have been so like a lot of the gimmicks that everybody talk about being so bad from like the new generation era or whatever, they weren't around that long. Mantar, Bastion Booger, they existed, but the Godwins were still there in like 2000, I think. Henry Godwin debuted in '94, so here it is 3 years later, and he's still there. That's crazy. Um, they did vignettes for Henry Godwin where he was actually a heel hog farmer, which is I don't even remember what makes him a heel. Like I've been watching those episodes of Superstars, and I don't even know what makes him a heel. He's just ugly and toothless, and his thing is he slings mud and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck Vince was thinking. What was he thinking with the Henry Godwin gimmick? I don't know. I don't know why he would do that. Who are the Godwins wrestling? Because I didn't look at the card. It's the Headbangers. This feels like this is not going to be a straight up tag team match. There's going to be some more to this. I don't like the Headbangers. Not a big fan of the Headbangers. Oh, it's a fatal four way. Okay. So the new Blackjacks. Oh no. Doug Furnace and Philip LaFon. Oh no. Oh no. This is gonna suck ass. Oh boy. Well, well, this ain't about to be good. Uh, I love this card for three matches. Obviously, Hitman, Austin, but also because of the six-man tag, Ahmed and LOD versus the Nation of Domination. Oh my god. Oh, that's a personal favorite from this card. That's a personal favorite. I can't wait to get to that joint. That joint is badass. That joint's you feel me? That joint rules. I don't know what they was thinking about this new Blackjacks thing though. Doug Furnace and Philip LaFon, totally boring. I know so many people are fans of them from like ECW back when they were doing work rate shit, but I've never been a fan of Doug Furnace and Philip LaFon. Vince trying to bring back the Blackjacks. To what end? Like I will remember who Barry fucking Blackjack Mulligan. Like I remember who that is. 1975, man. I wasn't even born yet. I can't believe they grew these obnoxious mustaches though. That's embarrassing. How long did it take Bradshaw to grow this mustache? Is it even a real mustache? Ooh, I don't know. This is all bad news. I can't believe y'all picked this. This is a cheesy gimmick right here, though. I like cowboys. They're far more cowboyish than Adam Page, but you slap the word new on somebody, it's over with. Poor Barry Windham. He just never could get right in WWF. They didn't know what to do with Barry Windham. There's an ass in every seat, so WrestleMania did well. The people all bunched together over on the side. Everybody fighting at the same time. Feels very Russo. The match was average at best, but it definitely doesn't deserve such a low rating. There were some fun spots. I don't know what the rating was. I don't read the dirt sheets. I only remember from things from history. And I don't remember enjoying this match. I don't even remember this match occurring. So who knows? We may get to the end of this thing and I may say it's better than I thought it was, but I got a feeling that I'm not going to say that. Because I'm looking at the competitors and saying to myself, who do I care about? And the answer is nobody. What's your opinion on WrestleMania 90, SummerSlam 98? Good main event, could have been great. I think Steve Austin and Undertaker's best match was actually Cold Day in Hell. It's a match everybody kind of forgets. But I think it's the best match they've ever had together. Undertaker and Austin just never meshed. But as a card, it was fine. I didn't have a problem with the card. It was kind of. Didn't they do the hair versus hair, X Pac and Jeff Jarrett on there? Because I remember that. I did. I love the new SummerSlam logo with the chrome and everything. That's kind of dope. That's kind of dope. Wasn't Jim Cornette caping for the Headbangers? Or at least there's one dude in the Headbangers because he know him personally. That's embarrassing. This is just 90s tons of funk versus Rhodes Scholars. I know, right? We're supposed to forget there was undercard guys in the Attitude Era. Everybody was goddamn stone cold all of a sudden. It's like, no, there were undercard guys. Why are the Headbangers doing what they're doing? Why are they wearing skirts? Did we ever get an answer to that? Why they was wearing skirts? This is a mess. Oh boy. It's Philip LaFon is in the ring now. Not good. No gimmick. No look. I'm surprised I remember who he is. Hey, here comes Barry Windham. I actually like him. But I like Barry Windham, not Blackjack Windham. I don't even know why that's this. I know that he's related to the original Blackjacks. I know that. But you can't just inherit a gimmick. Plus, not when you were more successful when you were by yourself anyway. Doug Furnace is built like a brick shit house, that's for sure. He's muscular. Their gimmick is Metalhead. Well, sounds very 90s. Very, very 90s. Doug Furnace from the University of Oklahoma or something like that, right? Because JR kept trying to get this guy over. I'm sorry, it's not going to work, sir. Need to have charisma to get over. Oh, shit. Bradshaw trying to take his goddamn head off. That was great. He missed, but it was great. Somebody got a sign that says, "Who are these bums?" Who are these bums? Well, they introduced them. Just wait and see. He may surprise you. They won't, trust me. God. I think Barry's hair is thinning. And the hair coloring, for Christ's sake. Oh, well, now they debuted the new Blackjacks at this show just for them to get disqualified. Great job. Excellent booking. Tremendous booking. Top-notch storytelling, bro. Get this thing out of here. Speed this up. We got some good shit to get to. Oh my goodness. You know, the Godwins were fun when they were with Sonny. That was a fun little thing they had going on. The Phineas and Sonny story was pretty good. They just backdoored the Godwin's Headbangers match into WrestleMania. They think they slick. Oh my goodness. Please retire. Please retire. Which one of these dudes will be the one smashing his mom later? When I was a kid, man, I might have been excited for this. I don't remember being excited for this. I'd have been 13, 14. This would have been a week before my 14th birthday. So I would have been 13 when this happened. And I probably wouldn't have cared that this was happening. I probably just would have been happy to see WrestleMania. But because that's kind of how I always was when I was a kid, man. I was so damn broke. I was happy to just see the show. You could have had cats scratching each other for 2 hours. I'd have been like, oh man, did you see that? Even as a teenager. I was just so damn broke, I didn't get to see shows that often. I was lucky enough to have a friend whose dad was a wrestling fan. So he would always order the shows. And we didn't have to pay him or anything. We just show up, bring some snacks or something like that. We was in. So Chaz was the one who was, would bang his mom later. This is weird. Oh, it's Mosh. He's the fat one. Okay. Or the chubby one. Wouldn't be right to call the guy fat. He ain't fat. He's just fatter than the other one. Oh, what a gift you got, Laura Kratos. Funk is on a roll. Funk is gonna roll. Everything about the headbangers is disturbing to me. I don't like it. I feel like I'm getting groomed. As men in dresses. Mosh was Chaz when he teamed with Sean. Waltman? When did he team up with X-Pac? Or was it Sean Stasiak? I don't remember. I didn't follow the career of this guy very closely. Ain't no demolition, I can tell you that much. Oh my God, this match is still on. Mike Chioda out there sweating like a hog. The lights on bright, Mike. Red, white, and blue ropes. Classy touch. Sean Stasiak sucks. I don't know what Vince was thinking. I guess he was doing his old man a favor. He looked great though, in phenomenal shape. But that was about it. Hillbilly Jim is still there. It's tremendous Hillbilly Jim lasted this long. He had a hot tag with no hot. I miss body slams. Almost nobody does body slams anymore. Such a simple move that kind of went out of style for some reason. The same thing with like neck breakers, like simple neck breakers. They gone out of style, but nobody does a neck breaker anymore. Oh, thank God it's over. Woo. The Headbangers won a match at WrestleMania. Whoever booked this should be ashamed of themselves. Vince Russo, you should be ashamed of yourself. Planet Stasiak versus Brodus Clay would have been a hilarious battle of intergalactic alien beings from different eras. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Sportsmanship. Oh no. They misspelled camaraderie? Why would you do that? Well, Austin Theory got both his losses at the same time. So, if we're going to be fair. Nobody does simple detail moves anymore. And plus, fans only react to furniture and spots. But watching these old WrestleMania shows make you miss that wrestling used to be. Yeah, that's why I like watching old shit. Look at Captain Lou Albano. Arnold Scotland is still there. Um, Honky Tonk Man in the ring. Was is this the Intercontinental Championship match? Oh, they was just introducing the Honky Tonk Man. He wasn't doing that. He was just there for no reason. Oh, he want to be on commentary. Honky Tonk Man look, he ready to jump in the ring, baby. Stop it. Oh, it's the Sultan. Oh, one of Rikishi's many gimmicks. Acteur. I spit on you. I fuck you in the ass and make you humble. Hey, it's about to be the first bloodline brawl. They kill me getting the Iron Sheik and bringing out these random, supposedly Muslim characters. This is awful. Yeah, Rikishi is the Sultan. So bad. Anything to get a job, dog. It's almost as bad when Savio Vega was Quang. This is terrible stuff. The Sultan. Such a he was got to make a change spot 2 before this. And before that, he was head shrinker spot 2. So he's been around a long time at this point. He's been on it since the early 90s. That's the one thing about Vince, though. He kept guys that he liked, he kept them around. He just kept changing their gimmick. So he would put them in the mask, put face paint on them. It'd be the same fucking guys over and over again. Oh no, the Godfather had more. I think he had more repackages. I think once he found the Godfather, the repackages stopped, but he had a ton. Kane had a lot too. Hey, look at old Pineapple Head Rock. Rocky might be there. How ironic his first opponent would be a member of his own family. I did it for the Rock. Cheeky baby. Is that Bob Backlund? Yeah, Bob Backlund. Why is he in the corner with the Iron Sheik? What is that about? Hey, it's Tony Atlas. Stop looking at their feet, Tony. You creep. Rock before the boob job. Before he started mainlining steroids. Commander Aziz has a chance. Maybe he'll become a Nigerian dinosaur from a different planet who talks and rhymes and dances with Maxine Dupree. That's his only chance. He got no chance of getting over other than that. I can't believe Rikishi grew this hair just right there in his head. So he grew out like a ponytail and then shaved it all the way around, with the exception of that one ponytail that dangles from his head. Oh my God. What was the purpose of this? He had to keep his hair curly. He had the pineapple head thing going on. He had to keep his hair curly. He's still spending those $7 he got in his pocket. His boots look weird too because they kind of expose his calf muscles. Like, why is he doing that? His boots look really weird. I just can't believe Mr. Bob Backlund is out there. That was an interesting babyface shine setup they got with The Rock basically just throwing punches, and then he gets cut off by Rikishi backing himself into the post. That was unique. I like that. The Sultan couldn't keep up with him, so he injured his arm. Basic ring psychology, for Christ's sake. I never was a fan of Rikishi in the ring, whether character or not. I was just never a big fan of him. But, Vince just liked his family, so he kept him around. He liked another Jim Neidhart, where it's like, I guess I'll find a place for him. I don't want to upset the family too much. I want him to look out for me. I don't want to upset the family too much. Oh my God. The pace of this match slowed down to a crawl. The Sultan with very basic offense. Nice little clothesline there. Kind of a cocky pinfall. Iron Sheik outside being an umpire. Coaching. Illegally, of course. You're not supposed to be coaching outside the ring. I can't believe they started the show with a garbage ass fatal 4-way. It then went into this. Like, this is not good. The Sultan was never over. That's because Vince left. Vince is gone. If Vince was still around, Omos would be like a giant DJ or something like that. I think he went to. I think this was after he went to Memphis. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was after he went to Memphis because they would have been in Memphis together. Rikishi as J.R. Smooth and Rocky Maivia as Flex Kavana. They were both in USWA at the same time. Rikishi had been sent down there essentially to retrain. So I would imagine he grew this ponytail afterwards. Now, when it comes to whether he had to shave it when he came to being Rikishi, I'm pretty sure it was fairly simple. I would think it would be more a pain in the ass to maintain than anything, because I would imagine your hair would grow back pretty quickly and fuck the whole look up, you know? But who came up with the look and why? You know, like I get why he's wearing a mask because you don't want it to people to recognize him. And as the same guy that he's been on their TV for 4 years already, once as a crazy Samoan eating raw fish, then as a gangbanger trying to turn his life around, and now he's an Arab terrorist. I don't know. But why is Bob Backlund involved with this? That's what I want to know. Why he's got Bob Backlund and Iron Sheik? Why does he need both of them? For Christ's sake. I really want to watch Superstars up to like the creation of the Sultan, so I can get an idea what the Sultan was supposed to be. Like going back and watching those old vignettes of these characters, you do have a deeper appreciation for some of them, like Jeff Jarrett's original character, IRS, um, Mr. Bob Backlund. I enjoyed the hell out of all three of those characters. I love all of them. Razor Ramon, all tremendous. And you could tell through the vignettes they were going to be awesome. But when you got the Sultan, I don't know. I don't know where this comes from. Like, what is the origin of the Sultan? They always put Bob Backlund in the weirdest situations, though. Like, he's in the corner of the Sultan. Like, why? Like, what does this have to do with anything? Crazy. Bob Backlund was the world champion 3 years before this. Well, 2 years before this, he was world champion because he won it at the end of '94. He lost the title like 8 days later, but still, it probably wasn't even 8 days. Probably like 2 or 3 days later, but still, it was great. Mr. Bob Backlund. I just don't understand what he got to do with this. Oh no, not the dreaded double clothesline spot where they both go down. Earl Hebner was always my favorite referee. If they're gonna put a referee in the Hall of Fame, it's got to be Earl, right? Earl Hebner is my favorite referee. He'd go. I was thinking about Darren Young as I was talking about Bob Backlund, and I switched. I changed just the. I changed. I changed the subject because I didn't want to talk about it because that was so random. It came out of nowhere, and it served zero purpose because he didn't get over with that, and I didn't even know what it was about. Oh, The Rock think he gets Tatanka now. Here we go. He's firing up. What was that even supposed to be? Oh no, was that the Haka? What the fuck was that? Everybody looking at what is this fool doing? Is he a ballerina all of a sudden? Why? I don't think they mentioned at all him being Samoan. They kept talking about his daddy who was black, and yet he's in the ring doing like Samoan shit. What's that? Look, I love the babyface fire up, but not a fan of the Rocks. Not a big fan of that. I always did love the Rocks float over DDT. That was a great spot. He always did that very smoothly. And then when he added the kip up to it, it was very dope. That was always my favorite Rock spot. Oh no. All right, Sheiky baby with the mustache. Rocky Maivia and the PG era Usos. Oh boy. Talk about cringe. I like the Usos though. Even back then. They were kind of cringe, but I liked them a little bit. You can clearly see why WCW was whooping their ass though. Because this is WrestleMania. And the first two matches are basura. Featuring guys who are not even over. They're trying very hard with The Rock at this point, though. So they trying to give him a spotlight. This is what I mean, though. Like, You want people to see a guy to appreciate him. You got to give him a spotlight. This match is too long, especially since neither one of these guys are really all that over. But I think the roster was kind of slim in '97, and he won the match with a roll up. Oh, oof. Oh my God! The crowd pops because they think they're glad it's over. Oh no! Post match attack. It's the post match attack. Put the boots to him, Shiki. There you go. There you go. Get the. At least they had Brett and Austin. Oh my God. Ooh, top rope splash. Jesus Christ. That was more violent than I thought it would be. Oh, Iron Sheik got him in the in the camel clutch. Oh, this is great. That Bob, do something, Bob. Go get you some licks, Bob. What the hell? Oh, it's Rocky Johnson. I forgot about this. Oh, that was great. Rocky Johnson was throwing punches too fast for Rikishi to sell him. Oh, so that's where he got all the gyrating from. He got it from his daddy. His daddy was doing all that gyrating with the shoulders and everything. Oh no, they hit him with the flag. Is that the Ayatollah Khomeini on the flag? Akatur. Ayatollah Khomeini. Yeah, the Rock is getting fucked up here. He getting disrespected. How is he getting up though? He just got splashed. He just got put in the camel clutch. What's going on here? What is happening? Oh no! Oh no! Don't hit the Sheik. Please don't hit Sheiky baby. Please don't. Okay, he gonna slam him. Still not good, but oh no. Oh no, his daddy gonna body slam the Iron Sheik. No! Oh wow. Now the crowd woke up. The father son punch woke everybody up. Okay. All right. This needs to end. they need to wave this one off, brother. That's strike two. It's not good. They trying though, man. They trying to make new stars here, I guess. This wasn't the way to do it. This wasn't the way to do it. Poor Rocky Maivia. Poor guy. Die, Rocky, die. That's all things I get. Oh, you pieces of crap. Oh boy. Why Tony Atlas didn't do anything? Oh, he should have gone in there and helped them. Or at least kept Mr. Bob Backlund in tow. Oh, hey, it's Ken Shamrock. Hey, how you doing, Ken? Todd Pettengill is still around. It's a decent suit. Can you believe people actually hate Todd Pettengill? Like, why? Oh, that's Mr. Billy Gunn in the armbar tapping out to prove how tough Ken Shamrock is. I remember watching this, and it was actually pretty sweet. Billy selling the hell out of him. Selling the hell out of this. Lord Kratos, when people told me I missed out on this stuff, I didn't expect Rocky getting punked by Iron Sheik and his daddy coming out. All of these terrible memories are now starting to flood back in of how not good this WrestleMania is. I don't. I'm telling you, as a kid, this stuff is so much better. But as an adult, that shit was stupid. Like you trying to make this kid a star, you put him in a boring ass match. That's where I went on too long, and then we got stuck with Rocky Rocky Johnson. So the first two matches were based off of people in the 80s and the 70s. Not good. Hey, it's Michael Hayes, and there's Triple H, and there's China with her first face. Guess what? Michael Hayes right here is younger than AJ Styles is right now. He retired so early that he got fat and chubby like in his early 30s. He was only like 34 or 35 or something like that right here. If he was a better athlete, he would have still been in his physical prime, but he wasn't. He was washed. He was out to sea at this point. So Goldust and Triple H, that ought to be fun. I'm trying to remember that match. I do remember it being not too bad. What are we going to commercial for? Oh, okay. What's going on here? Oh, the crowd is waking up. So finally somebody to care about. Yeah, Ken Shamrock. We got to who never won like a UFC fight after this point, like ever. I got embarrassed so many times, like, oh, Ken's gonna win. Ken lost. Like, oh well, too bad. How heavy do you think Triple H's coat is? Looks very heavy. Who wears the pants in their family? I think they're both wearing pants, sir. Look at China's arms and chest. Jesus Christ. Look at her chin. It's got that. She got the Jack Kirby chin. she got a John Romita Jr. chin. God bless her. Oh my goodness. What is that logo? Is that like a family crest? That's what it's supposed to be? I used to like when they used to have like turn the lights out and everybody would have their little in-ring thing. As a kid, Viscera, Snitsky, Brodus Clay, Hornswoggle was fun. Oh man. I can't say I enjoyed any of those guys. I was no fan of Viscera in any incarnation. I just didn't like the guy. He was too big to do anything. I mean, he was just too big. He couldn't. He could like effectively do like a slam or something, but most other things he was way too big to do it. His agility was okay when he was younger. Though his agility was decent. Lord Kratos, I love how a lot of the things stay the same. It's nice comparing stupid 90s stuff to stupid 2010 stuff. Yeah, that's really what kind of keeps you interested in wrestling sometimes. You just want to see kind of ridiculous shit. Vince is going to shit out of his head at some point. Despite also being a heel, Lawler rips on China's appearance. Well, yeah, because you can't ignore the elephant in the room. Like you can't ignore how China looks. Like you can't ignore that. Goldust was supposed to wrestle Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 12, but then Razor got himself into some trouble, and he ended up getting pulled. And he also said that he's quitting the company, so that didn't help. And that sucks because I think Razor versus Goldust would have been sweet at WrestleMania 12. That would have been very good. Instead, we got Vader versus Razor and Razor's last match at in your house at the next show. That was sad. Sad times, man. I don't think I've ever seen that match. Now that I think about it. Good friends, better. I've seen that show. I'm not sure if I remember that match. Goldust versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley. This ought to actually be good. Because both of these guys know what they're doing. They both have characters. They have a storyline going into this. Oh, shit. That was a nice little clothesline there. Dustin is very underrated. I know he's getting kind of overrated because the AEW audience kind of overrates him. But when you think about at the time, nobody was really considering Goldust's work. They were just so creeped out by the character that they kind of missed the work. His work was actually very solid. Lord Kratos. Did 90s fans dream about getting choked by Big Mommy China, though? Not really. We didn't have kinks back in the day. we like today, I could see this kind of stuff happening because there's kinks all over the internet. We didn't have too many kinks of people floating around. I'm pretty sure there was probably some weirdos here and there. Like I had a cousin who was obsessed with gold dust. That's when I realized that women like gay dudes because the gayer gold dust became, the more women liked them. And I was like, I don't get it. Like I don't get it. Like it was weird. It was just like Charlie Murphy said in Chappelle show, the ones who looked more like the bitch got all the bitches. Goldust wore a wig, he wore lingerie. They didn't care. They were like, oh my God, I love me some Goldust. I'm like, what? Why? I couldn't find a single bird that can explain to me like why they like Goldust. They just did. Triple H right in his giant nose. That's an interesting spot though. I've never seen anybody do this before. Not get his arms trapped. They've done that before. I'm saying like this early in the match, get themselves into a spot like this. Come on, Kyoto. I like how you look at how Dustin put so much emphasis on his stuff. Like he put so much emphasis on it that you really are expecting like his face to explode when he kicked him in the face and stuff like that. He also is a big dude. He never really realized how big Goldust is. He's a big dude. Even in that bodysuit, he's huge. He's bigger than Triple H is, that's for sure. Triple H is muscular, but he's not. Goldust like he might be shredded under that suit. He wasn't, but he looked like he might be, especially in the shoulders. We know he got a doughy body, but in the bodysuit, he looks like he might be kind of jacked a little bit. They doing the tease with Goldust and Marlena. I mean, Goldust and shit. China and Marlena, where China's eyes going over to Marlena, just kind of staring at her. Camera caught that, by the way. So the camera's smart. The producers are smart. They're paying attention. Not 100 camera cuts. They're cutting the camera too much, but not a lot. Am I hyped for WrestleMania? No, not really. I'll probably be more excited, in the run up to WrestleMania. Maybe in like a day or two before it really starts. I'll be excited. By the time NXT is over, I'll probably be excited for WrestleMania. But right now, not really. There's no heat. Not enough heat for me. On the undercard, on the upper card is good though. If he was built like Lashley, he wouldn't be wearing that Power Ranger outfit. You feel me? Vince wouldn't let it. He wouldn't have let it happen. He didn't like you gotta let it be free. But instead, he built like the penguin from Batman. So he's like, nah, you gotta zip it up. Zip that motherfucker up. Put this gold and black trash bag on real quick. That's gotta be like offensive, isn't it? WWE, you go to WWE, they put you in a bodysuit. You're like, yeah, this will be Nakamura. Put him in a bodysuit. That suplex from the top rope onto the ring apron looked kind of nasty. But his head didn't make no contact with it. He just kind of slapped it with his hands. Even I noticed that when I was a kid. Oh, that was a nice chop by Triple H. Smart thing to unzip the suit, too. They should have put Keith Lee in a whole bodysuit. He probably would have. What would have done if he'd have put him in a whole bodysuit? That'd have been something. Full body jumpsuit. That'd have been something. To cover up that belly. But you might as well wear a full bodysuit to what he was wearing when he was going to the ring. I can't tell you how groundbreaking Goldust was. I'm telling you, nothing shook the table like Goldust when he first came in. Dudes didn't know what to do with themselves. They were like, "Oh my God, what the hell?" It was like, "Yeah, buddy, We're off and running. I don't know about that. He'd have been sweating like a slave though out there. I tell you that much. And he'd have been sweating like a factory worker. It wouldn't have worked out for him at all. He'd have been a hot man. He didn't want them matches to be short. Like that match got to be short. Abdominal stretch. When the last time you seen one of these? I don't know when the last time I saw an abdominal stretch. I feel like somebody did one last night though. Did somebody do an abdominal stretch? A dancing hippo from Kenya. I don't know why Vince think people like dancing, but people do like dancing. It's kind of hard to explain. Like people like dancing, but dancing gimmicks don't. Fuck the crazy thing is dancing gimmicks often get over. Like often they're more over than you think. People just don't like them because it's silly. Kyoto kicked his arm. What the hell? Come on, that's violent. Ugh. That was a nice little flurry from Triple H there. Oh wow. What is this? It's kind of like an anaconda vice, like a sitting anaconda vice. That's not bad. How much do you think it bothered Vince for her to smoke that cigar? I know it's part of her character. He probably told her to do it, but I know it was killing him that she was smoking on his television show. He's probably so salty. Can't believe we got to do this. She wasn't really smoking though, as much as she was just letting it do what it do. Did he just kick him in the balls? Because that's kind of disqualification, bro. Kyoto wants to kick Triple H on the arm. He don't want to police these goddamn hits in the nuts. Come on, brother. He had the weirdest. Triple H had the weirdest feuds at this time because this Goldust feud went on for a while. It started like Royal Rumble, probably a little bit before that, and this lasted. Hmm, this wasn't the last match they've had. I think they had another match or two after this. And then he started to feud with Mankind, and that went on for like forever. And then I think DX started not shortly after that. Ooh wee! This blue juice is something else, dog. That shit kind of wild. Blue juice. Dustin laying his punches in. It's not bad. Weird looking DDT there. Oh yeah, Goldust and Triple H last they feuded for a long time. Mankind and Triple H feuded for a long time too. They had a part two to the feud. Then they had a part three to the goddamn feud. I was like, God damn, bro. I think they feuded every year for like 3 years. They feuded in '97. Then I think they feuded in '98. Then they feuded in '99 too. And I believe they also feuded in 2000. So I think for 3 or 4 years straight, Triple H had at least 2 or 3 matches with Foley. They had a series. You know, as they went on, he won most of those matches. He won most of those matches anyway, because Foley was either the underdog, babyface, or he was like guys getting on. 14 minutes is too long for a match between these guys. Predictably solid work in a match with zero momentum or personality. Would have rated it lower if not for the excellent finish. I think this match would have been a fine opener. I think they had the angle with China and Marlena. People were interested in what was going to happen there. The work was going to be fine. The match length probably would have been a problem. This isn't their first match either. They wrestled the Royal Rumble earlier this year. So this is not the first time they even wrestled each other. So there's some confusion. Maybe we should have just done a mixed tag match and had China and Triple H versus Goldust and Marlena. I think that would have been a bigger attraction. It probably would have had more people into it. But it would have boiled down to these two guys wrestling each other for 14 minutes anyway. So, like, what's going to happen between China and Marlena when they get in the ring together? Bear hug, submission. That's pretty much it. Because China couldn't do shit at this time. And Marlena's not a wrestler. So, but it would have been a nice little spectacle for WrestleMania to do a mixed tag match. I guess they wasn't ready to expose China yet. Because she wasn't all that good. Oh, shit. What the hell is going on here? Why did Triple H head go to the middle, in between the middle joints? Why is that happening? Goldust taking a break. I got to give China credit. She's been standing there the entire time in the exact same position, moving nothing but her eyes. Like, she's not pacing. She stood in one spot the entire time. And then she started moving. Back body drop. Ain't seen that one in a long time. Only AJ Styles takes back body drops now. Nobody else does. Triple H, think he's Ric Flair again. Bulldog, another underrated move that you don't see enough. I think only Brian Breaker does the Bulldogs now. He does it from the top rope, which is, maybe a little too much. Maybe we ought to just go and do a regular Bulldog now. A Bulldog might hurt as a regular move. You grabbing somebody's head and running them face first into the ground. That's a legitimate finish. I'm sorry. Hey, do you remember you didn't like spitting in wrestling? Well, Goldust kind of spit on China. Well, shit. Kinda. Like, he did spit on China. I hate spitting. It's the grossest thing possible, bro. It's about as gross as bleeding on people. I like the curtain call as Goldust is finished, though. Oh, he's got to save his girl. Save Marlena. And bang. Knock Marlena right into China. And let the ragdoll begin. Pedigree, finish. Okay. We could have done this sooner. We certainly could have done this in half the time. But good finish. Good finish. The heels win. China looks like a monster. Great job. She didn't get directly involved. She, Goldust distracted himself because he cares so much about Marlena. So it wasn't that China did anything to him. It was just kind of her presence was enough to distract him. Okay. I can buy that. But she is huge. She's jacked. Like, how do you I hate to be that guy, but how do you have sex with that? Really? Like, how? That's gotta be like making out with a wall or something like that. Like, how? She's so chiseled, so muscular. Like, half of the fun of being with a woman is the soft parts, Like, what soft parts when it comes to China? She like hard everywhere. Like, she all sinewy and she built like Conan the Barbarian, It would have been nice if Goldust would have got like a little Randy Savage moment where he'd have saved Marlena and won the match or something like that. But now it's not that time. It's the new generation. You don't get over like that anymore. Now we beat up you and your girlfriend, and we leave y'all broken and crying in the ring. That's what we do now. That's Heat Daddy. She got a nice little shake to her hands, like she's supposed to be really shaken up and everything. That was nice touch. They used to give away. They used to sell cotton candy in the aisle at these places now. They don't do it anymore. I don't think they sell anything in the aisle anymore. But then again, I ain't been to a show like Ushers and stuff in a long time. Oh, poor Goldust and Marlena. Oh, that's so sad. Hey, it's a Shawn Michaels meme of him not knowing how to use a computer. He could have wrestled on this show, but they do Dustin dirty early in the early Attitude Era. In the early Attitude Era, when did they do him right? He was getting done bold the entire time. After the initial Goldust run, yeah, they started doing him dirty, dirty, all that. Oh, it's a tag team title match. Uncle Paul and Goldust. I mean Vader. Sorry, Uncle Paul, Mankind, and Vader. Who the fuck are the champions? Mankind and Vader as a tag team. Yikes. That is kind of frightening. That's an ugly team, dog. Why is Vader in this match? Of all the places Vader should be, he should be in a match, in a tag team match with Mankind. I don't think so. I don't think so. This don't look right to me. That's bad booking, dog. I think Vader was in the doghouse, but still, putting him in a tag team match with Mankind doesn't make sense. Not for a WrestleMania. That's who I guessed it was. I would guess the tag team champions would have been Owen and Bulldog. They're heels. So what is this? Owen and Bulldog are heels. Vader and Mankind are heels. I don't understand this. I don't think anybody cared, but I care. At least I like all four of these guys, so this ought to be great. Everybody in this match should be in the Hall of Fame. See it definitely. Why he's not in yet is embarrassing. Owen and the Bulldog. One of the greatest tag teams of my generation. I loved Owen and the Bulldog. They were so good together. They were tag team champions for most of this time, too. It's unfortunate, though. Vader and Mankind as tag team. There should be at least be some good action in this match. I can't believe it. They got a heel program here. Why would they do this? Owen with the two slammies. They hadn't introduced the European title yet, so they haven't had that match yet. Owen's hair, I never really liked Owen with the longer hair like this. Bulldog does some cool power spots on Vader, and Owen does a decent job at being a face, despite being a heel for most of his WWF run. At this point, he had been a heel about as long as he had been a face. This was 3 years into his heel turn. He was a babyface in 1990. He turned heel in late 93. Early 94, he turned heel. So he went from being the Blue Blazer to High Energy to New Heart Foundation. That was about 2 or 3 years. Of course, he did a run in WCW and he skipped over to Japan for a little while. But he had been a babyface about as long as he had been a heel in WWE at this point. Damn, Vader's laying this shit in. He trying his best not to kill Owen, but he looks like he's killing Owen. Who the man? What year do you think is better, 97 or 2000? I didn't watch all of 2000. I'm not even going to hold you up. If you ask me which WrestleMania was better, I'd probably say, matter of fact, after watching this, I'd probably say WrestleMania 2000. Because up to this point, I haven't enjoyed anything on this show yet. But the good stuff on this show is really good. The good stuff on WrestleMania 2000 is really good. So I'm just looking at the mismanagement of guys, though. Like having Owen and Bulldog as heels, but putting them in a position where they're wrestling other heels does them no favors. Vader, who should have been a top guy, you're probably paying him big money, being in this position sucks. Mankind, who probably just feuded with the Undertaker the previous year and got over really strongly, should probably be pushed as a solo star here. Why they're in a tag team match, I don't know. This is what happens when you have guys and you have no plans for them. You know, you got guys but no plans. So now they're in a tag team. And it's like, it's all stupid. Jerry Lawler ripping the hearts that should never get old to me. I never gets old for me. I love when Jerry Lawler ripped on the hearts. What made it even funnier though is how Brett started complaining about it. Like, have you ever seen like Wrestling with Shadows and he would complain Jerry was going too far or whatever? That's what made it even better. It was like now Brett's starting to get in his feelings about it. The jokes become even funnier. 97 heel Bret Hart versus peak babyface John Cena would have been awesome. Yeah, I think from a character perspective, it would have been fun. Cena would have diced up Bret Hart though. That'd have been nutty. Who knows what kind of crazy shit John Cena would have said. Bret who? I think this might be is this one of the few times I can think of where the British Bulldog and Mick Foley were in the ring at the same time. I can't think of any other time where those two would have been in the ring together. Oh, that was a sweet suplex on Vader. That was not bad. Great for Vader for posting up too. That was very professional of him. He posted up quite nicely for Bulldog. Made him look good. He didn't go to the floor though, and Bulldog tried to throw him to the floor. Let me tell you something, brother. You got a problem with the good old United States of America, man? Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're like, oh God, Hogan. But there's not enough cocaine in the world to stop Hulk Hogan from cutting a crazy 87 promo. I'm telling you, man, in the 80s and in the early 90s, those coke filled promos, man, then nothing could beat that shit. You can't beat that with a stick. I'll just watch the coked up promos. I don't even need to watch the match. Next year, Bulldog gets fat. 98? No, he didn't get fat in 98. He got injured when he left and went to WCW, and he lost weight. He got out of shape after that. But he didn't get fat in 98. He left in late 97, and he got injured in 98. Then he came back in '99, I think, and he was wearing blue jeans, and it wasn't Bulldog no more at that point. Oh, okay, so Mankind and Vader are the heels because they just hit my man in the hip to earn. Paul Bearer without the Undertaker is hilarious. Just 100% hilarious. How are you gonna make Owen Hart, who is like easily one of the most hateable people on the planet, try to make him a face for this just for this match though? Bulldog, I get it because Bulldog, there's a lot of respect for Bulldog, and Bulldog has always been positioned quite well. This is actually a weak posting for Bulldog. Usually he's doing okay at WrestleMania. He's got a decent spot, except for WrestleMania 11 when he's in that tag team match, and he's another tag team match. But usually throughout the year, Bulldog is pretty well positioned. And then, like a big event, he's in a nothing match. He's either in a main event or he's in nothing. Like he's in a nothing match. Which is weird because he always delivered in the main events, though. He didn't draw for shit, but he always delivered physically. His matches with Shawn Michaels were very good. They didn't draw for shit, but they were good matches. But hell, how could they draw? They were built off Shawn supposedly hitting on his ugly ass wife. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Oof. Diana was not pretty. Sorry. I know she was supposed to be like the beauty queen of the Hart family, but that just says a lot about how their genetics operate. Like I don't see it. You know, maybe I had to see a younger picture of Diana. But she would be the beauty queen of the family. I don't think so. I disagree. Foley ain't done shit in this match. I wish he would do something. That's not bad. What could hell? You could have had Mankind fight Vader at this point. No, Mankind still was pretty hot heel at this point, so they probably couldn't have fought each other. But who the hell do you have Bulldog and Owen wrestle? Well, you had a fatal four way earlier this night for what babyface tag teams in it. They could have wrestled those guys or somebody in that match and not wrestled this one. I don't have a problem with this match. It's actually not bad. I have a problem with the booking of it because it's two heel teams. So now people don't know what to do. And then they had Owen Hart and Bulldog heel on Jim Ross right before the match. So it's difficult for them to get sympathy. You work them into a hole here. You put them in a hole. And it didn't need to be. Oh, that was not bad. Nice little counter. Hot tag to Owen. Interesting decision to have Owen be the strong one to come in hot. Oh, that missile dropkick was dope. With the kip up too, that was nice. But what is he gonna do with Vader? Vader's too big. Okay. This is good. I think this might have been the only time Vader and Owen Hart was in the ring together. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh, that was a hell of a cutoff. Ooh, baby. And the crowd loves it. Yeah. Owen ran right into his big ass body. Just big bodies. Knocked his ass down. Wait a minute. What's going on here? And okay. About to do the cactus joint. Hey, that's not bad. That was a nice little tag team move they just broke out here. On the floor though. Like it didn't need to be on the floor, but they did it on the floor. I don't know. That's probably Foley's idea. Owen takes bumps flat, like straight flat bump. No bend at all to his shit. Which is the safest way to take it, to be quite honest. If you're a professional, you take your bumps flat. So used to John Cena falling on his tailbone. You're surprised to see guys take flat bumps. This suplex spot is obnoxious. Okay, there we go. A neck breaker over the top rope. Oh, Stu and Helen Hart getting roasted now by. That's a good. They always utilize the Harts when they were shown and everything, but they always look like corpses. They never like it's like pulling teeth to get them to emote. You know, their son is in the ring right in front of him, getting his eyes gouged and everything. They just kind of looking. Helen looks concerned. Stu looks like if the building was on fire, he wouldn't give a shit. Like, like you couldn't get an emotion out of him in any way possible. He's like that old and grizzled, like a stone Buddha. Like, what do I have to do to get an emotion out of Stu Hart? Do I have to, I have to have open heart surgery on one of his kids in front of him? He probably still wouldn't move. Oh, the knees to the gut. Another old school spot. You see that quite often though. When to put the knees up. That's a good counter for anybody who does anything in the air. This match is going on a little long, I think. They already did the big the big hot tag. Oh, nice heel kick. Nice heel kick there by Owen on Mankind. They actually got their working boots on now. They're actually doing pretty good in there. All four guys. This is actually a solid tag team match. I don't know why it is what it is, but it's a bizarre match, but it's not bad. It's not boring. Maybe because I like all the guys that are in it. You can see Vader telling Owen to feed. Probably you probably should not. Owen's too small to be taking all these Vader punches. He probably should just be taking bumps at this point. Well, I like how he went when he goes down, how he went down. He looks out of it. Vader rules. It would have been nice for him to actually do something at this show. They wasted Vader his entire run and jobbed him out like a nut. Oh, he didn't even do the running heel kick. He just did it. That was still nice. Vader took a bump for him too. Very nice of you, Vader. Probably didn't have to, but he did it anyway. And then he got up before he did an elbow drop. He then elbow dropped him. I don't think the audience is going to feel too bad for Owen Hart. Trust me. They've got too many years of Owen Hart doing really shitty stuff to people. You're not going to get too much in the way of sympathy on Owen Hart. Oh, that belly to belly suplex on the floor. That was good. I always liked the way Owen did that belly to belly suplex too. It was very good. Always very crisp. Very much like a power slam. And he could do it on pretty much anybody. That might have been a little bit of a problem because most of these guys were bigger than he was. Much bigger. So you could tell they was clearly jumping into it, but he liked doing it. It's a nice spot. I never was a big fan of Bulldog strikes, like his punches, like because he stomps too much, because he over stomps on everything. I don't think he throws a strike without stomping. He stomps a lot. He's a stomping this guy, and then oh shit, that was a really good spot. He just grabbed him and threw him into the ring post. That was nice. Boom, did it again. Chest first at that. Not bad. Nice little power spot. Oh, mandible claw. Oh, the mandible claw is on him. It's not really on him. It's kind of on him. Oh shit! Vader took his mask off. We're 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 up to no good now, brothers. Oh no! Oh, ooh. What a bump outside the ring for Mankind and Bulldog. Vader's going to continue trying to eat Owen Hart alive in the ring. Wait, what's happening here? Is this about to end the count out or something? Oh, this sucks. Oh no, this sucks. Owen pulling the hair, trying to get him off. Right in front of Stu and Helen. Oh. There's a fucking count out. Oh, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. But then again, it was a heel program, so I don't know what I expected. It kind of got unglued there at the end, which is nice. Mankind couldn't, now he's got the mandible claw. And Vader trying to pull him off. He's not trying very hard, but he yanking at his hair. They didn't care about winning the tag team titles. They just wanted to hurt somebody. What's that on the floor? That was not bad. That was actually a pretty solid match. I didn't like the finish. But it was a solid enough match. I enjoyed it from bell to bell. Very interesting decision to put 4 heels in the ring together. Probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea to have the match in disqualification. But if you don't want to beat Mankind and Vader, not only should they not have been in this match, but yeah, they shouldn't have been in this match. They certainly shouldn't have been in it. If they couldn't win and they couldn't lose, don't put them in it. So I figured they just need these guys to do something. And I'm pretty sure we could have figured out something. We could have sent the Sultan home for the evening, I think, and replaced him with somebody else. Bret Hart gets frustrated at WrestleMania 12 and goes home. He comes back as a completely different man. He's starting to change. Steve Austin hit him in the back of the head with that chair. He hit him that chair hard as hell. I know this match not about to happen right now. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. It's pretty foolish. Goes to show that when WrestleMania season comes along and there's nothing for you to do, tag team match. It's like you could have created an 8-man tag or something like that, had all these bums in one match, put it on the kickoff show, gave them a nice little paycheck, and called it a day. But that would have mean that you would have probably had to not bury some guys. Like something could have happened that would have made this a lot simpler. But they're starting to build up the Austin Hitman match now. That Gatorade was all right. Look at Vince. He got pushed down and he moves so awkwardly. Jesus Christ. Oh no, he just punched out Pat Patterson. I don't remember that. This Bret Hart Steve Austin thing was hot as fish grease. I remember that shit. My grade school days. Man, that joint was hot. That was a hot angle, bruh. We were all still Bret Hart fans too. Still on the Bret Hart train. All right, it's what everybody's been waiting for. Hitman, Austin, submission match. They introduced Ken Shamrock as a referee. Okay. All right. I always liked the theme they gave Ken Shamrock. He's jacked. He's the most jacked dude that's been on this show so far. Of everybody that's been on this show so far, him and Bulldog have been the most jacked. But now business is about to pick up. And a real main event is about to happen. I didn't realize this was the 4th match on the show. Remember, Jericho bitched about being the 3rd match. This was the 4th match. So Austin Hitman was 4th on this show. Jericho was bitching about being third, right? We were in the third match. Me and Kevin Owens, I'm better than being in the third match. I would rather go on first. Like, shut up. Austin and Brett going on fourth. You feel me? And they had one of the hottest angles going into this match, and they're on fourth. It's not like this was a shocker that crept up on people. They had a classic at the Survivor Series just a few months before this. They had been building up this angle since January. And they had started this feud in November of last year. Actually, it started before that because it started before Survivor Series. So they started this in like October of '96, and now here it is in March, and these guys are like just not really getting into it. This is only the second match they've ever had. Well, they had a bunch of matches on like Kuwait and stuff, I guess. So that was after this, if I remember correctly. I think that might have been after this. Jericho crying about being in the third match. It was the stupidest thing in the world, bro. Just dumb. Dumb. I'm gonna complain about being in the third match. Sheesh. When some people ain't even on the card. Correct. But I think that his problem was that they went from being in the main event because they were supposed to be for the Universal title. It probably still would have been in the third match, though. Probably still would have been in the third match. And then they didn't even have a good match. Not a great one. They had an okay match. That was about it. Vince wasn't sold on Kevin Owens. And they did the Festival of Friendship, and that was hot and everything, but I don't think it was worthy of being I don't know, a top match, fifth or sixth or anything like that, sixth or seventh. A co-main event. I don't see that. And then I think the match that they had wasn't that great either. So, but enough about them bums. This is the showcase of the Immortals. It's time to start getting busy. Look at the intensity of these guys. This shows you that these dudes are serious. They're serious about what the fuck they're doing out here. They're getting busy. They already outside the ring. Austin throws great punches. I always liked his punches. Brett's okay. Steve Austin's punches are great. I think he probably studied Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett, they also throw great punches. The underhand punch always looks better than the straight punch or the overhand. The overhand just looks stupid, but an underhand punch looks good almost every time. Most people who throw an underhand punch actually look pretty good. You can see, you can look at the struggle of it though. Like they're not cooperating. They're cooperating, but you could tell they're not cooperating. Like he didn't just immediately crotch him on that barricade. There was some resistance there. Then there was some physical resistance too, with him having to lift Brett up a little bit. They put a little bit of weight on it. Captain Lou, Tony Atlas out there with his shirt tucked in. It's WrestleMania. Why your shirt tucked in? Ken Shamrock you got doing crowd control. But these boys are out there in the crowd. Oh shit. He drank a free pop. He beat him in the head with nachos and shit. This shit crazy. So that dude got nachos at least. He trying to protect them nachos from Bret Hart's hair grease. Get that hair grease flying all over the place. Get all in your nachos. He'd probably eat them anyway. I mean, probably like $22 or some shit. Arena nachos. I wonder what kind of deal they come up with like these arenas, where if they knock over people's drinks and shit like that, like do you pay for it or what? How did that go? I don't know. And it's crazy to throw a worked punch right in front of the people, like they're right there, right there. I guess they're so excited that they don't see that the punch is worked. You know, because Brett's throwing punches the same way he's always throwing punches. This dude just grabbed Bret Hart by the hair. Like, what the hell is going on? He's rubbing him by the hair like he's a goddamn puppy or something like that. just rubbing his head and shit. Like, what is this? Like, not your son? Guess he wanted to make sure his head was real? Make sure his hair real or something like that? But you can see the excitement in those people's faces because they didn't expect for these guys to come up where they are. Like, they're not in the nosebleeds, but they're far enough that they probably couldn't see too much of anything. And now these guys are basically standing in their lap. They're probably geeked as shit. And then imagine you're a fan, you were at this show, they fought in the audience, and now you're on camera. So you go back and watch this match 22 years later or whatever, and you're still in there. You're still there, taking pictures of Bret Hart and rubbing his head and shit. I know there's got to be some fucking cool stuff. That's one of the things I want to do though. I want to be so close that when some shit happens, I'm on camera. I think it happened to me when I was at GCW. They were doing that goofy ass. It was a scaffold match. It was, I think it was the Second Gear Crew and the Briscoes. And I'm pretty sure I made it. I got on camera. Pretty sure I did. I was close. I was super close for that. Here comes Steve Austin, and boom, that was a nice shot. The fans just want their attention. They're also trying to get on camera. Dipshits. Oh, he coming at him though. Oh shit. He was coming at him with them stairs with some malice. You know, he just picked the stairs up without the struggle. Like they struggle to pick up the chairs now. Now there was no struggle to pick up those chairs. I mean, no steps. Austin 316 shirts everywhere. I wonder what his merch sales were like that night. Merch sales was probably nuts. They probably sold out by the end of the night. No more Austin 316 shirts in the entire greater Chicago area. They probably sold every black shirt possible. Even shirts that weren't Austin 316. They're just selling black shirts. People write Austin 316 on it at this point. You can see Steve Austin calling the spots, but it's not as obvious as John Cena. But you can definitely see him calling spots. Like he called that net breaker spot. Nice elbow. Bret's elbow smash from the top rope always looked vicious. I'm surprised he never hurt anybody with it. But Bret's a professional. And now he's going back to his wrestling stuff. Right on the knee brace. The knee with the brace on it. They did the fighting. They scrapped outside the ring. Now they're starting to slow it down a little bit. You got some time. Bret always like walks around with his mouth gape all wide open all the time. Like breathing with his mouth. He's a mouth breather. Mouth breathing hitman. Ken Shamrock ready to burst out of that shirt. Them shorts are super tight. Why did he dress this way? He's a referee. He should. I don't know, man. You like you about to go to the beach. You want to be a lifeguard or something like that. This is Bret's match they're having now. They basically split the match into three spots. It's Bret's is Austin's match first. Now it's Bret's match. Bret and Austin inspired Gargano and Ciampa for all their NXT main event spots. don't do Brett and Steve like that. They had nothing to do with that. Trust me. They didn't have nothing to do with this. They had no idea when they were doing this what kind of turds were going to start trying to recreate this match. They had no idea that Stone Cold Wheeler Yuta was going to try to steal this match. They had no idea. So please don't attack them too much. Be gentle. They had no idea they were going to be the blueprint for tons of I quit and submission matches from this point forward. It was a mistake. And look at how Brett does this without knocking himself out. The figure four on the ring post, great spot. The crowd pops crazy for it. Steve selling it like a motherfucker. It looks vicious, even though it doesn't make any sense. It looks vicious too. They had no idea this was going to happen. Stu Hart still sitting there like the stone Buddha. Just no damn facial expression whatsoever. No excitement that his son's winning. No concern that his son's getting his ass beat. Just, just nothing. Nothing going on here. Now Brett's got the bell. Shit's about to get real. Shit's about to get real. He got the bell now. And he went and got a chair. He got a commemorative chair. Then we can get that blue boy. Yeah, buddy. This is completely out of Brett's element, but he's about to go there. He's pushed to the limit. He's tired of Steve Austin's shit. He's been dealing with this son bitch for 4 months. Enough. Enough of this guy. About to end his fucking career. Pillmanize that leg. This was before they called it Pillmanize, though. About to Pillmanize that leg real quick. But Steve Austin, ingenious, gets up, got a weapon, and the crowd wakes up. Steve continues to sell the leg. How many times do you see guys, they work a body part and they stop selling it? Or they do something, they stop selling it. Just last night, Kenny Omega landed on his head, started selling his neck and like his I think his left side, as if he got like a stinger or like he was holding his arm like he was hurt. And he just basically dropped it and just said forget it. And went back to doing flippity doodahs. So there we go. Flippy doos. That matters more than selling. So selling is the most important aspect of wrestling. I don't know why people don't get it. It's literally the most important part. It has to look like it hurts. I'm sorry. That's what people are paying for. Because sometimes it actually does hurt. Like he hit you with his chair for real. So yeah, you should probably sell it. There's a different energy. There's a different style. There's a different intensity, a different passion. And before neck surgery, Steve Austin. Steve Austin before that neck surgery was a working motherfucker, man. He was all in, and he was in fantastic shape. Oh, look at Brett's little baby. Oh no, she don't want to watch this. See, she's emoting. Steve, Stu. Where did I get Steve? Stu. Oh no, not Brett breaking out the old submission hold. Well, Steve breaking out the old submission hold. I don't even know what the hell that is. It's not a Koji clutch, that's for sure. It looks similar though, but it's not a Koji clutch. Who the hell knows what this move is called? Shamrock looks permanently ready to ring the bell. This is Brett's second submission match at WrestleMania. His first was a submission match with Bob Backlund. That match actually kind of the 3 matches he had with Bob Backlund, is probably the worst. Their first match was the best though. Bob Backlund and Bret Hart first match on Superstars, tremendous. If you're into work rate matches, you should probably just go watch that. There, I don't think. Well, the second submission match was probably kind of garbage because of the story that they dumped into it, the theatrics with Owen and Helen. That probably slowed that match down to a crawl. So maybe the second match was the worst. But the first match is undoubtedly the best. But Brett being the king of the submission match is great. I just wish he would have gotten a chance to do more of them. And I think in the Attitude Era, he probably would have got a chance to do more of them. Even though he lost his first submission match, he lost it about that. Steve Austin about to put on a terrible sharpshooter, but he got poked in the eye. Great job. Simple eye rake. Hey, that guy is standing up yelling. I don't know what he's saying, but he's into it. Punch to the breadbasket. Second punch to the breadbasket. Third punch for the breadbasket. Then to the head. Nice little, kind of slow of a combination, but whatever. Fans reaching between the bars to touch Brett. The kids, anyway. But the men like Steve Austin. They're 100% behind Steve Austin. The kids still like Brett, though. They're trying to touch him, and they love them some Brett. But you can start seeing that the audience is becoming mostly early college students. And bang, Steve's face hits oh no. Steve's face hits that metal barricade. And you don't see him blade. You're not going to see it. But they did a believable spot to get you into this. Like him hitting his face on that metal blade, on that metal ring post, is a believable blood spot. You know, if you hit your face on some metal objects, you might bleed. Steve just, oh boy. Now the sympathy comes in because this guy is fighting as he bleeds. He's been fighting on somewhat equal terms with Brett at this point. Now we're into the third part of the show, the third part of the match. We had Austin's match early, the fight. Then we worked into Brett's match, which was the technical part of the match. Now we're back into the fight, but Austin is the underdog because now he's busted open. He's vulnerable. So now we're back into the violent part of the match. But we've set the story that the violent part of the match is Austin's part. But after doing Brett's business with the knee and the tactical aspects of his attack, it feels different. It comes across like a different match now. Because now we're mixing elements of both. You know, Brett's still methodical with his offense, still technical, but he's also fighting. Like the bare knuckle to the head. You know? And Austin's got to come from underneath. This is the beginning of the babyface turn. Because Brett gets more violent when Steve starts to bleed. He's actually more aggressive now. He's still doing technical moves, but he's more aggressive now. He's been cheating the whole match though, like the eye poke and trying to Pillmanize his leg. There's little bits and pieces of it here that basically told you that Brett was going to turn. I can say this, almost 30 years later, you could see Brett turning in this match, like he about to hit him in the knee with his chair, which is not something Brett would have done a year or so before. Even though he kind of did, I think he might have did it against Diesel. But Diesel was 7 feet tall, so you could forgive him for being a little bit more. But you can see that Brett's starting to, take this match a little bit more seriously. Now Steve was eye poking, eye rake. I love how alert Shamrock is as a referee, though. Like he's very alert. Like he's a little too close, but he's making sure that he's watching closely. I wonder did they make him study other referees, or did he just study like UFC referees who are like always on the cusp of stopping the fight every single time? Ooh, right in the gonads. And the crowd erupted. Holy shit. Look at these dudes, man. That was a great way to stop Brett's momentum. Now Steve Austin's on the hunt. Things are going to change. Austin's time to fire up. Boom. Austin. Brett loves that chest bump. Now Steve woke. Now it's time for him to start doing what he do. The corner kicks. This is awesome. Because you literally, this is a babyface fire up right here in Steve Austin's spot. They're gonna have to do a cutoff in order to put Steve back in a vulnerable position in order to change this match around again. Superplex from the top rope, simple but effective. It'll always get a reaction too. Superplex is almost. I've never seen a superplex not to get a reaction. It gets a reaction every single time. It's one of the few moves that gets a reaction every time you do it. No matter where you do it, no matter who does it. People love the superplex. We've taken some of the starch out of Brett with the superplex. You can't pin them, can't make them submit with that. So we just up the ante a little bit. Now we're about to choke. And look how Brett positions himself right in front of the hard cam for this spot. So it won't get missed. So you can tell that they thought about this before they did it. Because Brett put himself right in front of the hard cam when they did this. And Austin's calling spots again. Bell to the head. And that changes everything. Very smart spot. Ring awareness by Brett. Austin's enthusiasm got the best of him. He got too excited. Maybe he's a little too animated after getting hit in the head with the bell, but I'll forgive him. Sharpshooter. Crowd actually goes crazy for the sharpshooter because they know it's difficult. Now you're about to do the spot that's made worldwide famous by Wheeler Yuta. Because God knows it's most famous, one of the most famous images in wrestling history. But look at this, like the theatrics here, the DiCaprio of this whole ordeal, the De Niro, look the drowsiness, the fade. But you don't give up. You don't give up. Yeah. Look at the blood streaming from his head. Ooh, what a great shot. What a fantastic shot. One of the best shots in wrestling history. And Austin, through sheer force of will, breaks the sharpshooter, but doesn't break it enough. He's still kind of in it. But he pushed himself out of it. He pushed himself out of it. Everything about this is just cinematic. Austin's face, his body language, you can see the veins in his lats and everything. Ken Shamrock called that joint. The crowd is happy Brett won. Some people are happy Brett won. They're not going to be happy so much in a few seconds, but right now there's a smattering of people that are very happy that the Hitman won. But he's frustrated. He couldn't break him. He couldn't break Steve Austin's will. Steve Austin defied him till the end. And now there's some people getting frustrated, and you can see Brett, disrespecting the audience. You left him laying in a pool of his own blood, which is exactly what you want to do to a heel, a bad guy. You leave him laying in a pool of his own blood. He's still alive, but you know he earned that. He did it to himself. If Brett would have walked away right here, he would have been a hero. But that's not Brett. That's not what he's going to do. He's not done. Something as simple as continuously kicking him in the leg. I don't know why Brett chose that as a decision to signify his heel turn. We could have just put him back in the sharpshooter, which is what he's trying to do. And then Shamrock picks Brett up and throws him. That pops the crowd. Crowd woke now. Brett thinks about it. Everybody's demanding that he fight Shamrock. He's like, wait a minute. And you could tell Brett liked Ken Shamrock right here because he backed down. Good business. And probably would have set it up if they was to have something to go on later that Shamrock was able to back Brett down, which would have been nice if they'd have had that title match later on like Brett wanted. But then again, I don't know. Brett wanting to drop the belt to Ken Shamrock is kind of crazy. That's kind of chaotic. I don't know if I like that too much. I don't know if I would have liked that too much, but Steve Austin is phenomenal. This was a phenomenal personal performance for Steve Austin. I mean, we know Brett can do. We know what Brett can do. We've been watching Brett for 6 years at this point as a solo act. We have been watching Brett for 6 years. We know Brett's cinematic and all that. But we're watching Steve evolve here. This is the guy WCW saw nothing in. This is the guy who was, he was brought into ECW to mostly mock WCW, not to really add anything of his own, really. This is kind of when you see him coming into his own as a performer, coming into his own as not, I wouldn't say a wrestler because he had more athletic matches than this. His matches with Steamboat were technically better than this. Technically, they were technically better matches. But putting everything together, the physicality, the theatrics, the character work, this is the best match he ever had when you take into account everything. And you realize that this guy came full circle. He finally broke through the glass ceiling. Tremendous contest. AJ3 says a little overrated in my opinion. Outside brawl was boring. Inside action was mainly Brett focusing on Austin's leg. Other than this, it's expertly done heel work from Brett in that iconic ending. I don't know about that. I think the earlier part, the walk-in brawl, I've never been a big fan of the walk-in brawl because there's only so much you can do when you're amongst the people. There's only so much you can do in that position. But I think once they got into the ring and the match really got started, the story that they told was infinitely better than you're giving it credit for. Mainly because there wasn't a lot of weapons. And that's not what they did at the time. And plus, they booked this card smartly because there's going to be another match that's going to focus on all the weapons. They're about to have a weapons match, which is actually right now my favorite match on the card. But they mixed it up in a way where, again, this match was sectioned off. where Austin comes across a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more at home, and then Brett becomes a little bit more at home. Then we started mixing the two, but adding more vulnerability to it. So this is about to be excellent right here, though. Lord Kratos 4.25. If you do 4.25, you might as well do 4.3 stars because my star rating system is convoluted. Well, that's unfortunate. Unconvolute that thing. This is a nation of domination with more white people in it than blacks. PG-13, who claimed John Cena stole their gimmick because they were white rappers, which is ridiculous, considering there were rappers in WWF before this. They didn't create like the white rapper gimmick. They didn't like create that, but it existed, I guess. I don't know why people think just because you did like one thing that all of a sudden you created that thing. Like the people who swear that Triple H stole Shane Douglas's gimmick because they wore the same hat. It was like, come on, you can't believe the guy's gimmick is his hat. Crush is in this match. That's why they're in the death spot, because Crush is in it. Savio Vega. Two just permanent mid card guys. But I'm telling you, I have no shortage of 100% love for the Ahmed Johnson Farouk feud. I love them. I love this feud so much. So basically, Black Lives Matter in the Burbs. This was similar to the we the People situation, where We the People was too pure. Like Jack Swagger and Dutch Mantell, they were too pure, so they had to weaken it a little bit. So they threw Crush, white guy, and Savio Vega, Puerto Rican, into the group in order to make it sort of non-racial, even though it's racial. They would lean into the racial element a little bit more. When they came in the Attitude Era officially, they stopped caring so much about that. But this is like the tail end of the New Generation era. This is that mid part where there's still some holdover from the New Generation era, but it's the Attitude Era is starting. So you got this soft, weaker Nation of Domination that is militant, but somehow, for some reason, has Crush in it. But there's nothing going to beat this. That visual of Ahmed Johnson in the Legion of Doom, motherfucker. If I could have got a poster of that as a kid, I'd have been happy as hell. I wasn't even a big Ahmed Johnson fan. I was just into Ahmed Johnson and Farouk fighting each other because it was so much fun. That little thing they did at the Royal Rumble was tremendous. Well, the match is a little bit different. They're building the card different in this time. And this time, LOD is over, so it's not going to be a situation where the crowd is going to die, because this is the Legion of Doom. They've been over since the 80s, so we're not too worried about them not being over. The second thing is, because this is a very different this is a popcorn match, where it's basically just nobody's going to go in there and do any wrestling holes. Like, look, they're just throwing punches and hitting each other with weapons. So it doesn't really matter when you do this. If they would have structured this card much like they structured the card today, I can tell you this probably would have been the first match on the show, because they would have wanted to open hot. Back in the day, you would build your card in a very weird position. Sometimes your co-main event would literally be your co-main event. Here they did something where they put Austin and Hitman on 4th, and they put them on 5th. Why? I don't know. Like, that's a good question. Why would you put them on right here? But if it was today, they wouldn't be in this spot. They probably would have went on first, because they usually put like hardcore matches or whatever on first, just to get them out of the way and for the crowd to be as hype as they're going to be. At the same time, though, you really don't want to put all the weapons and shit on first, because the rest of the matches are not going to have like weapons and shit. So putting 2 matches that had weapons on them back to back is a little weird. But the crowd definitely going to be into this because the LOD is in it. but if for no other reason. There's never a time where the LOD doesn't get a reaction. Oh shit! Ahmed Johnson just did a somersault into the crowd on Crush. I hate Crush, man. Crush is a prototype for terrible wrestler. Big for no reason, no charisma, but gets way too many opportunities because I don't know. You must have known about Vince's proclivities way back then. You must have known about the illegal paralegals way back in '97. The illegal paralegal. That's just funny as hell. uh, Ahmed Johnson is a shit wrestler. I'm telling you, he is. I swear he is. But this is the right environment. Savio Vega is the only person in this match that can like. Oh shit! He just bounced that damn 2x4 up and then caught it, and Savio bailed. That was smart. They're not doing no spots. At least not yet. What is they got the skinniest table and put two 300-pound dudes on that table. You could tell that this is a different era. They definitely would have got a real table with some weight to it. You about to power drive this man through a table. Oh, he botched it. Oh shit. I love Hawk. Hawk rules, man. Oh, that fire extinguisher came out of nowhere. That shit just exploded. I don't even see who used it. There's like 800 guys in the Nation of Domination, and only 3 of them are doing anything. The rest are just standing around. Oh, okay, it's Animal. I think this might have been the first time they did a fire extinguisher spot. The fire extinguisher spot always gets a reaction too for some reason. I don't know why, but the fire extinguisher almost always gets a response. Ooh, shit. I like this for the sheer amount of chaos that's going on. It's so unstructured. There's no obvious cooperation. There's no flippity doodads, no shit like that. Anytime they try to spot, they fuck it up because these dudes are fighting men. They're not spot monkeys. So anytime they try to do something that looks like a spot, they fuck it up. It's botched. You know, like it doesn't turn out right. No obvious cooperation. So there's struggle to the match. Oh, body slam through the table. Oh, that was great. Crazy thing is, he power drive that man on that table earlier, and it didn't do anything. He had to slam him through the table. Savio Vega was in a bunch of, I think he was in 3 or 4 WrestleManias. This is the highest he's ever been part of the show in terms of importance. And he was a very important mid carder for the WWF too at one point. You know, he was he took Tito Santana into Tonka's place as the everybody loves Savio Vega. Nobody like you would be a weirdo if you would have come to school and say you're not a fan of Savio Vega. It's like what? How could you not like Savio Vega? You know, what's there not to like? You know, like you be sitting there trying to figure out like you don't like Savio Vega. What the hell is wrong with you? But now you're an adult. You realize like he's just like a mid card guy. He won just as much as he lost. He probably won a little bit more than he lost. He got like 1 or 2 important stories, and that was about it. He might have had 3 outside of his feud with Ted DiBiase. He was the reason Ted DiBiase was gone. And his feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Uh, at time he almost won the Intercontinental Championship. My man got a noose. This is wicked. Savio Vega put a noose around the neck of Ahmed Johnson, and they're pulling it. This is crazy. This is crazy. Who brought the noose? It better not be PG-13. They may not have brought the noose. Hawk, but to tear these two guys up, yeah. Yeah. Where did Animal go? Animal disappeared. I don't know where he went. Oh, there you go. Because they're over there murdering Ahmed Johnson and nobody's helping them. Young D-Lo, heavyweight D-Lo. This 350 D-Lo. Where did he get to? Oh, Marlena's stand. He had Marlena's chair. Oh shit! What the hell was that supposed to be? I don't know what Ahmed Johnson was trying to do to Savio Vega, but he almost tore his ACL doing it. Damn. He got this massive sign. Oh my god. Now Hawk is getting goddamn hung. This shit is crazy, bro. I'm losing track of people. I don't know where they are. Hawk was very smart. He put the noose in the front so it just looks like you being choked, but that does not hurt. It can't hurt because there's no pressure on your throat. So I'm pretty sure if you had like a trap door underneath you still separate your spine, but for Christ's sake, that don't hurt. What Ahmed Johnson was going through actually hurt. But this spot was my favorite spot for a long time when Farouk gets pulled from the top rope by this rope because it was such an ugly, ugly, thunderous bump. Just watch this shit. Bang. Ooh wee. Ooh. That like it sucked. Like it sucked. I'm pretty sure Ron Simmons was like, damn. I was the world heavyweight champion. I'm in here taking motherfucking bumps off the second rope onto the floor. Boom. God damn. Sheesh. He probably loved this match though, because this is the kind of shit he would get into in the APA and shit. Now Farouk got the noose on. Like the noose just keeps popping up in different places. Like I don't even see people like put the noose around somebody's neck. It's just like the noose is. It's just there, man. This is Savio Vegas. No, this will be the. He will be in that No Way Out brawl in February of '98. He took Sean's spot. He was in the middle of that joint too. That was chaotic too. I love that match too. If you're gonna do a 6-man tag or something like that, and you want to do it like this, I respect it. Not in spot monkeying, but street fight, like legit. Who do you think was a bigger backstage politician, HBK or Cena? Well, I think it's pretty clear it's Cena. No, I mean, I'm sorry, HBK. I don't. We know again. Cena portrays himself as being, the good soldier. He just does what he's told. But he's got a great deal of pull. He just doesn't want people to think that he's got pull because he doesn't want to get blamed for anything. But he certainly got a great deal of pull. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be working with a guy like Austin Theory unless he wanted to. I'm pretty sure if he wanted to put somebody over, he probably could. I'm pretty sure if he doesn't want to put anybody over, he doesn't have to. But I think Cena, once he got the spot, he didn't have to worry too much about people trying to take it from him because nobody really could. But Sean was always in a tentative position because he wasn't drawing that well. So it was always kind of like, I don't know. Ooh, doomsday device. Unceremonious too. They didn't even make a big deal out of it. They just did that shit. And now here comes the big finish. I love this match. It's so nutty. Even the match is over and they're still fighting. What do you think? Oh, you already asked that question. Rest in peace, Hawk and Animal. Never be the same. Never be another. Tag team wrestling will be never be where it is if it wasn't for them. Yeah, like I said, these guys were so good. Like they worked this whole match. It was violent. It looked great, and nobody looks like they're beat to shit, and nobody looks tired. That double Doomsday device on PG-13 was excellent. Crowd wide awake for it. Hometown boys just wrecked the nation. People are alive. Look at that shit. LOD fucking rules. Uh, was Kennedy due to both Orton and Cena getting injured by him and being a dickhead? He's kind of a dickhead too. But I think it was mostly Orton complaining. Cena says that Kennedy injured him. I think that was the nail in the coffin. But I think Orton complained about him too. They just didn't like him though. He's a shithead. But yeah, it was because Cena and Orton. They didn't. I don't think they politics against them as much as they basically blamed him for their injuries. Cena more so than Orton. Even though I think Cena Orton made a bigger deal about it, Cena was a little bit more obvious because even though I think Cena pretty much tore his own arm doing that little arm drag he used to do. He stopped doing that. It kind of worked out a little bit. I hated how WWE booked LOD in '98. You and me both. You and me both. I don't know why they chose to do that. My guess would be Vince Russo. And everything's got to be realistic. Realistic. Who cares about realistic? They could have done the whole drunk angle much better. A messy brawl, but undeniably entertaining, and probably Ahmed Johnson's best match ever. Just a fun, dumb match to watch guys beat each other up all over the place. Yeah, it was just nutty. You just cut loose and let these dudes do what they do. You know, it was fun as shit. At Oh no, somebody's got Sid and orange scissors. Oh, why would you? Why would you ever? Why would you do that? The scissors, the Sid and orange scissors. Now Shawn Michaels out here with that fake ass limp, his bullshit limp. He could have wrestled on this show, but I'm kind of glad he didn't wrestle on this show. But this show would have been so much better if he had wrestled on it, because his match would have been undeniably good. But you know, he would have had to wrestle Brett. He didn't want that, so we got Steve Austin instead. So Shawn kind of politics himself out of a position, right? He played the politics game. Ended up, getting out of the match with Brett because he didn't want to wrestle Brett anymore. But in doing that, he opened up a spot for Steve Austin, and Steve Austin ended up being a bigger star than he is. The crazy thing is, as much as people say Shawn wasn't over, you see stuff like this where people are grabbing all over him. He used to do that. This used to happen all the time. People used to like that one, like a couple of times people fell over the barricade trying to touch Shawn Michaels. And they'd be like, "Oh, Shawn's not a draw." It's like, yeah, people are grabbing them. They won't let them get away from them, for Christ's sake. Yeah, Owen Hart was super over when everybody else left and he was the last one left. He was super over. How they, well, Shawn, that was Shawn's thing. He didn't want to wrestle Owen. He didn't want to deal with that. And plus, they was going in a different direction. It was the Bryan Danielson situation before its time, where clearly people wanted it to be Owen and Shawn, but the company was like, we're going with Austin, so we're gonna fuck Owen in this situation. And they knew how to handle that situation back then. They don't know how to handle it now. They handled that situation pretty decisively back then. Owen just got buried, and that was kind of it. It sucks, but you would have thinked rather, that Owen Hart would have gotten a nice little spot at WrestleMania. He got a fucking mid card match with Triple H. They wanted Shawn versus Owen. And I think if they had done Shawn and Owen at WrestleMania that year, nobody would have been upset as long as Owen would have won, of course. But nobody would have been upset. If they could have did Shawn and Owen at Royal Rumble, it would have been so much better. But they were sticking with the original plan. They weren't going to let Owen fuck the plan up. So they stuck with their guns. You know, probably not a good idea, but they stuck with their plan. They dropped the ball massively with the Blackheart stuff, and actually made it like he wasted his time re-signing. You know, that was so fucked up because he could have left. You know, it's just really sad. That's the sad thing is, you know, all of those guys were pretty much offered a release and Owen's the only one who re-signed. You got a nice little chunk of change out of it, but ended up not doing too much of anything. The master and the ruler of the world, baby. The master and the ruler of the world, baby.
Shawn Michaels, he has defeated Bret Hart, and tonight, Psycho Sid, this could be the most important night of your WWF career as you meet The Undertaker.
Ty Pettigrew, you are right, my friend. WrestleMania is the biggest event of the world, and it comes once a year. At night, when darkness falls, every man, woman, and child is scared. Except one person. Only one person is not scared of the darkness, and one person is not scared of the Undertaker, and that is me, my friend. I am the master. I am the ruler of the world.
Yes. Yes. See, it rules. Hard, okay? In this game we play, I am the master and the ruler of the world. How can you be more succinct than that? Yes, he always botches a promo. Always. He never not botches a promo. But the energy is there. And it's that chaotic stuff. It's that chaotic shit. I love it. It ain't perfect, but it's fucking chaos. I love it. Yeah, Undertaker come out first. Challenger come out first. Even though, you know, this is great. Then the in arena audience matters. You know, the ability to convert people who are not fans into fans is what drawing is. You know, the ability to bring people into the building and to convert people from not fans to fans. Very few people can do that. You know, when you go across the genre, you know, to your well-known, even outside of the genre. There's guys who never were super draws that did that, you know. And then there's guys who, when they are in the arena, they're the most popular guy in the arena, you know. And there's a lot of guys who are like that, you know. But Shawn is definitely if he's in the arena, he's the most popular guy in the arena. You might not convert any new fans, you know. You might not make any new fans. He's certainly going to be known by people who are not in, you know, in the space. Like, I've seen too many Shawn Michaels TikToks and all that kind of shit. But he's not Austin. He's not Hogan. But then again, ain't too many people who are. You know, ain't that many people who are Austin or Hogan. Like, they really, really built the card very weird. Like, they put Hitman and Austin in the fourth match on this show. Then they put the Chicago Street Fight next, which featured the Legion of Doom, who was super over. And then they put the, you know, Undertaker in the main event. The problem with this is Undertaker's match is not going to be better than the first two. You know, like I love Undertaker and Sid. It's a fun match for me, but as a match, it is not better than the first two matches. So you put the most exciting matches full of weapons and shit right before this. So it's like, okay, you know, if you say so, boss. Why would you structure your card that way? I don't know, but I like it. Undertaker and Sid, I love it. I can't wait for it. Psycho Sid is better than Karrion Cross. Well, that's I like Karrion Cross, but I Sid is something else. He's a different. He's on a different plane of existence from a guy like Karrion Cross. You know, he's on a different plane of existence. Sid Steiner Warrior promo battle. Warrior would talk circles around those guys and probably have very little content. But sometimes there is no such thing as a bad Ultimate Warrior promo. His promos are always good. Always. 100% of them are good. Even if they don't make sense, they sound like they don't make sense. But if you put some thought into them, they do. It's just philosophy. It's high philosophy and steroid fuel rage. And it's fantastic. Sid is incompetence personified in terms of promos, but it's passion and its intensity, and people appreciate the hell out of it. Steiner is kind of slick, but it's also tough talk, and everybody's like straight shooting. Love you some Scott Steiner. The thing about this Sid Undertaker thing that I love is that Sid was the heel, technically, but Sid is one of the most popular guys on the roster at this point. So now you're dealing with something that's a little unique, you know, because technically Sid is a heel, but Sid is beloved by every, audience that they go in front of, especially Chicago and New York. You know, he's not going to get cheered over the Undertaker, but he's no slouch. You know, Sid's going to get his when it comes to pops and everything and having fan base. You know, everybody loves that shit. Everybody loves this from Sid. It's without question. And that's one thing that was Sid is the only guy that's ever main evented all the WrestleManias he's been a part of. He's the only one. He's only been in 2. He lost both of them, but it doesn't matter. He main evented both WrestleManias he was in. You feel me? Who else can say that? Maybe Russell Undertaker at one. I mean, Russell Hogan at the other. Both were filled with run-ins and shit, though. I don't know. Why do people hate the cartoony stuff of wrestling so much? I thought that stuff was fun. It's because a lot of them people who grew up with that stuff, they kind of grew up with the 80s. You have a lot of people who are the older fans thought it was too cartoony. They grew up in the 80s with NWA and sort of classic. Usually if there's pre-Vince Jr. WWF, it had something to it compared to the Vince McMahon WWF, the Vince and Kennedy McMahon, the NWA and WCW, that shit. And Bret Hart just gets in the ring though. Like that's crazy. I thought he stood on the ring apron the whole time. He gets in the ring though. That's crazy.
He did his best against
All right. Foot injury. No. Your smile, or whatever you do, stay out of this match. I'm so scared. And as for you, I just want you to know, you slammed that door on my head, you slammed the door on our friendship, and from here on in, it's a new set of rules. You're praise you and me.
Oh my! I can't remember the last time Brett was anybody's friend.
And you.
I don't know if I see it just laughed at his ass like me. He pulled this shit in the main event of WrestleMania. Bret Hart is pulling bullshit. All right. Well, that's how you know Vince Russo is involved because it's not treated like the main event of WrestleMania. This is the main event of WrestleMania. Why is Bret Hart cutting this promo now? He could have cut this promo 4 minutes ago. All right, when we were backstage, he could have cut this promo. But they're setting up the finish and everything, so it makes sense. I only thought this was a pretty great, decent story. Yes, the match was methodical and slow, but there are some good spots. For example, the reverse tombstone. I enjoyed the Brett stuff too. They did some stuff here to protect Sid because Sid is a commodity, and that's very smart. Um, it would have been very smart. It was very smart to do so. I like how Undertaker went back to the gray gloves and the gray greaves for this match. Back to the old school classic Undertaker look. Undertaker as the champion has always been weird, but I mean, hey, you got to do it at some point, right? I always feel bad for Undertaker because he has to wrestle these guys, and some of them are just not very good, and so it makes his matches not very good because he's wrestling monsters. He's wrestling. Sid is not great. All right, that's the thing. Sid is an excellent character, excellent personality, not a great wrestler. All right, doesn't mean Sid doesn't have good matches. Sid has surprisingly good matches sometimes. I think his matches with Goldberg were surprisingly good. But other times Sid is hard to work with because he's stiff. In terms of how he moves, but the crowd loves him because he's so charismatic and he's jacked. Like he looks like a guy who will kill you. He's like a villain in every fucking 80s badass movie. I could see Sid choking out Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie or something like that. How he never had an acting career. The just how could you miss out on that? I'd have put Sid in every fucking sci-fi action movie I wrote from that point forward. He probably couldn't remember the lines because his brain is like backwards into his head or something like that. But I'd have tried. I'd have tried to put Sid in every Hollywood blockbuster I could. He'd have been in the first Expendables, all that shit. But they keeping it simple though. This is a bear hug. He doesn't even have it properly applied because for starters, why is he on his knees on a bear hug? Having Sean and Brett do their Sean and Brett thing outside this match is weird. Yeah, Sid could have been a Sean Claude Van Damme villain. Just imagine he'd have been in Time Cop or something like that. He would have been great. Sid could have been in a Wesley Snipes movie. He'd have been the villain in like what's that Wesley Snipes movie I was thinking of? Not Blade. Uh Demolition Man. He could have been one of those guys in Demolition Man. Could have been in RoboCop or something like that, Would have been great. See it as a Ninja Turtle villain. Like, yeah, he could have been one of them joints. He could have been like the Super Shredder or something. I know Nash is Super Shredder, but he could have been that guy. He could have been Bebop, Rocksteady or something like that. I know wrestlers become Rocksteady all the time now, but he could have been like a massive movie villain. Like a Mad Max villain, yo. Like, it would have been great. Would have been great. Do you imagine him? Undertaker was in Suburban Commando. Suburban Commando is actually not, as bad as I thought it was. I watched it recently. Didn't I talk about it on the channel? Did I talk about Suburban Commando when I was on the channel? Because I watched it for the channel, and I don't know if I ever talked about it. I don't remember. But Suburban Commando was not as awful as I remember it being. It was still bad, but it wasn't. as god awful as I remember it being. And Undertaker was in that movie, and he had no lines in it. He was just in it though. His super long fight scene with Hulk Hogan. Really weird though, because he wasn't an Undertaker yet. So I'm pretty sure that's how he ended up getting the WWE job too. Probably helped. I wanted. Has he talked about Suburban Commando at all in any of these interviews he's been doing lately? Somebody should ask him about Suburban Commando. What do you think was better, Vince Russo or Eric Bischoff as a booker and writer? Bischoff had one idea that made a lot of money. One. He had other ideas that made the show better, that probably increased the profitability of the show, made the show cooler, changed the dynamic of the wrestling business. But as far as drawing a lot of money, he had one good idea. When it comes to the WWE, though, Vince Russo had more than one good idea. But the question then becomes, what ideas were purely Vince Russo versus what ideas were Vince Russo and his partners that they stole from either ECW or Jerry Springer or something like that. So it's hard to tell. But I would give it to Russo because he had more success in a shorter amount of time. But you also have which one did more damage to TNA. Russo was the original booker of TNA. One of the original bookers of TNA. We had Sports Entertainment Extreme and the girls dancing in cages and all this kind of stuff. But then he also was a part of some really bad shit too. So it's hard to tell. I think Bischoff has a better handle on how to build stories. It's just sometimes the shit kind of falls flat. But I shouldn't say Bischoff had one idea. He had probably three. Because I forgot, the NWO wasn't really even his idea. It was stolen. Goldberg and Sting are those two ideas I would say he had. That made a lot of money for him. Lord Kratos, who do you think is a better booker, Triple H or Vince Russo? Well, that's a tough one. I want to see how this. Like I said, most of my Triple H critiques they've been tough, I think, but in compared to Vince Russo, it's Russo had more time so far. When we get to the point where because Russo didn't get on the booking committee till like 97. So from like 97 to like 99, 2000. So when Triple H gets like 3 years in, we'll be able to talk about it. But right now, you're just looking at the scope of Vince Russo's success and saying Vince Russo, via being more successful, would be the better booker. And he was part of, Rock and Austin and McMahon and all that kind of stuff. But all of those talents, a lot of that was just the talent themselves. A lot of that was talent. Undertaker hated Suburban Commando so much, I don't recall him ever thanking Hulk Hogan for anything. Well, because Hulk Hogan almost ended his fucking career by saying that he hurt him in that match. But he's also been very, when he put Hulk Hogan on his Mount Rushmore, he bit his lip, but he did it, he did it. He just couldn't deny the guy's impact, but he knows that his career probably would have went a lot better if Hogan hadn't lied on him, Who knows? He might have been WWE champion for a lot longer. And who knows what could have happened to the Undertaker character, how much bigger he could have been if Hogan hadn't took the belt from him, what was like a week later, 2 weeks later, and then lied on him and made him seem like he was unsafe, which of course did damage to his confidence and did damage to Vince's relationship with him. Because for a while, you hurt the top guy, you hurt the golden goose. Oh, you got me, brother. Yeah, fuck that. And I'm pretty sure they didn't work well together on Suburban Commando either. It's crazy how much business those two guys did together, and they're not like considered, you know, rivals because they worked together again in like 2002, didn't they? Undertaker won the belt from him then too. He won it from him with a choke slam, which I think was probably a slap in the face. But I remember when I came back to wrestling and saw that Undertaker was the champion again. I found that out later though. I didn't know he had won that damn belt until the belt was already gone. Like I didn't know the undisputed belt existed until it was already gone. So when I saw that Undertaker had won it from Hogan, I was like, "Oh, they wrestled again, huh?" I thought that was never going to happen because I already knew the story that Hogan had lied about the tombstone. I already knew about it then, but Undertaker couldn't come out and say anything about it. You know, that's the weird thing. Like he got fucked over so many times, but he couldn't come out and say anything about it. They didn't steal a lot from ECW, but they stole enough. Um, there's they there were no direct ideas that they took. You know, at least I don't think so. What they took mostly was the chaos, and they just put their own little spin on it. You know, like the hardcore matches and more weapons, faster matches. You know, there's certain elements that they took from ECW that aren't direct. Like they didn't have like their own Taz, but then they kind of did because they had Ken Shamrock, so they had their own like mixed martial artists. Even though, to be fair, Vince did a mixed martial arts gimmick in 1995. To be fair, but they didn't have a Raven. They didn't have. But this also could be that Mick Foley was their Raven, kind of. There was no triple threat. There was no cursing, but that kind of stuff, once it started to pick up in mainstream in terms of like television and stuff like that, you started seeing it in wrestling a little bit more. But they basically just took a feel for ECW. They tried to copy that. It's like the spirit that they tried to copy. It's like somebody was doing like a hardcore homecoming or something like that does like a ECW reunion show, like XPW or GCW. They try to do things that are in the spirit of ECW, where it's not directly ideas, but you can tell that they did a lot. WWE stole a lot from Jerry Springer, though. Yeah, so did ECW. ECW did a lot of Jerry Springer style, stuff. Well, I guess they didn't do a lot. In the early days, they did. Threesomes and guys stealing each other's girlfriends. That soap opera shit, it's always been there. The soap element of pro wrestling has always been there, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a problem though when the people can't execute. Then it becomes an issue. But there's a feel to the Attitude Era that you can see, that you can understand was ripped from ECW. But I don't think it was any specific concept that they brought in. I think mostly just borrowing ideas. And it was smart. And then WCW tried to steal those ideas and they couldn't. They didn't have as much leeway as WWE. They benefited from having a company that wasn't going to cancel them. WWE had to worry about their ratings because they would have gotten canceled. USA Network didn't own WWE. Turner did own WCW. So as long as Ted was there, WCW was fine. It was going to continue to exist even if they lost money. And I'm guessing it's the same thing right now. Long as Tony Khan has a buck, These two, AEW is going to be fine. They're probably going to have to start losing a lot of money in order to, close the doors. But WCW benefited from having a lot of money to play with. WWE didn't have infinite money. They had quite a bit of money for sure. They didn't have infinite money. Ted Turner was, a billionaire. That's why he did the billionaire Ted skits. He could hire any wrestler he wanted, put shows on whenever he wanted, whatever. Remember the segment when Mark Henry said he had sex with his wife? Sex was whose wife? That's what I want to know. Maybe not his own wife, but whose wife? I'm kind of weirded out by the amount of perverse black sexuals in WWE, the Visceras and the Mark Henrys. I'm just kind of really weirded out by those dudes. But thank God he didn't do Tony Atlas foot gimmick. But it was maybe it would have been better than Saba Simba. Who knows? Undertaker just pulled out a power slam like a couple of minutes ago on Sid that was actually pretty sweet. And I don't remember him doing a power slam too many times. Sid jumping from the top rope, just they're doing it. Why would he walk around and then go for the pinfall? What was you doing, Sid? But that's the thing, like you take in the audience. You do something, you let the audience respond. Let the guy sell. Take it slow. Sometimes it may be a little too slow, but take it slow. Start the comeback. Go for the bread basket. In like 98, I don't know. Oh, had sex with his own sister. Oh God. Yeah, the naked median and all the perverse gimmicks. Y'all boy Vince Russo. I don't know, man. People like to think the whole show was Undertaker and Kane and Hitman, Austin, even though Brett was gone. Austin and McMahon. It wasn't. There's plenty of look. I like the Big Boss Man. They weren't using him right in the Attitude Era. They didn't care about him at all. He was basically he was like one of the most evil people to ever exist, though. Like that was the one positive thing about Big Boss Man in the late '90s. He was one of the most evil dudes ever. I mean, the stuff with Big Show in '99, evil. I'm talking pure evil. Why would you even participate in that? It was so evil. But they weren't going to do anything with him. He's basically just a middle of the road heel who, lost quite a bit more than he won. But he did win sometimes. And no matter what anybody says, the Kennel from Hell is still one of the worst matches ever conceived. So no matter how bad you think like the Mountain Dew match or the zombie match or whatever, it doesn't beat dogs shitting on the floor during your match. Okay? Nothing beats that. That's the worst match in WWE history. It's easily the worst match in WWE history. The Kennel from Hell. It's awful. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was a Vince Russo idea. That's like I think he came up with that crazy electrified cage. I think WWE and maybe AEW, they haven't done it yet. But they're the only two companies I have seen that have not mainstream companies that have not tried electrified cage matches. It's stupid. Like, it's the dumbest shit. Electrified cage. Why would you try to sell people on an electrified cage match? Wait a minute. That's right in front of the referee, for Christ's sake. That was right in front of the referee. That's a disqualification, Jack. Where I come from, that's a disqualification. None of that shit made any sense in the Attitude Era. Why young Mark Henry be having sex with Mae Young? Why would he even be sexually interested in Mae Young? Outside of him being an oversexed black guy. But I did notice that becomes the go-to gimmick for black dudes. I don't like to play the race card and all, but you can't ignore it. You know, the Godfather, Mark Henry, Viscera, the oversexed black guy just keeps popping back up in WWE. Not a big fan of it personally, but the guys, it works. It works. In my time, the rest will pick and choose when to do a DQ, PG era, Justice Confused. Right. Like Brett clearly hit Sid with this chair. He hit him twice, as a matter of fact. So even if you didn't disqualify him the first time, I mean, come on, he hit him twice. For fuck's sake, that's a DQ, brother. They couldn't even bother to do a distraction on the referee. Whoever put this match together missed that part. Put a distract him. It looked like something's supposed to be happening because Sid is looking there, and he's looking for Brett. And here it goes, right in front of the referee again, right in front of the referee. Right again, right in front of the ref. Like nuts. The ref is like, oh, okay, never mind. 1, 2, 3. Yay. Everybody go home happy because nothing matters. Not gonna lie, PMS for how cringe they were at times was hot. Ryan Shamrock is an underrated baddie in wrestling. I never really liked Ryan Shamrock. And to be quite honest, the little that I saw of her, the best. The crowd was enjoying the match. I think they liked it, but they are going apeshit for the win. Everybody's very happy Undertaker's the champion again. That's what they wanted to see. That's what they came for. They came to see Undertaker win the title again. Yeah. They were like, oh, Undertaker's supposed to win the title. You can't disqualify Sid. You can't disqualify Undertaker. You can't do it. Because if you disqualify him, then Undertaker can't win the belt. That sucks. But whoever laid this match out should be kicked in the balls. Vince should definitely kick somebody in the balls. All this obvious shit in front of the referee. I didn't even notice that until just now. How much of this stuff happened right in front of the ref. Like, I thought it was ref bumps, and I thought that the ref was back was turned at some point. No, all this shit was right in front of the referee. What the fuck? I wonder if Ryan Shamrock was familiar with Frank Shamrock kayfabe wise. She was an actress that they hired, and she was actually fucking Ken Shamrock too, which is odd. I'll never forget, and Ryan Shamrock was done with me when Ken had to tell her to slap him. Like, he had to basically make her slap him at some, what show was that? He's yelling at her and she's yelling at him. He's like, slap me, and then she slaps him. Like, I was like, wait a minute, why do you have to tell you so many times? I have to get so loud, like the hard cam is on you. I don't think there was a incest storyline for Ken and Ryan Shamrock. I think it's just one outside the ring. It was just notorious for being outside the ring incest. But I don't think anybody cared anyway. Ryan Shamrock wasn't there long enough for him to fucking matter. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Damn, y'all be right on top of shit. I remember a moment, but I don't remember where the fuck it came from. But y'all be remembering all kinds of stuff. All right, man, that was WrestleMania 13. Below par. The second half of the show was quite good though. From when you get to Goldust and Hunter Hearst Helmsley is okay. Probably would have been better if it was earlier. But the first two matches, we definitely could have did without those. Definitely could have did without those. The main event, okay. I didn't like all the obvious interruption in front of the referee. You know, this is when things stop mattering. You know, like we're gonna just interrupt the main event of WrestleMania so Brett could complain about not being the champion. And you could have done that in a promo before the match and had Brett say he was gonna, him and Sid are not done. You know, he handled the Steve Austin problem. Now he's gonna handle the Sid problem. But they chose not to go that route. Instead, they decided to do it in front of everybody and have fucking Bret Hart cheat right in front of the referee. That's the Attitude Era in a nutshell, though. The Attitude Era basically very selective on when the rules matter. It's very difficult. Thoughts on Candice Michelle, one of the hottest women at wrestling ever had. Before we get to that, say Lord Kratos says kayfabe talk. Ryan Shamrock dumps and shames Ken Shamrock because he wouldn't win an MMA fight for the next 20 years. She put a hex on him. I'll put a spell on you because you're mine. You're not going to win any more fights ever. And then that's it. She put the Danhausen on him. And then he gets beat up by Tito Ortiz and a bunch of other bums. Which is real unfortunate because, why would you want to live like that? Candice Michelle is hot for sure. She is fire. I think she might have been a Playboy Playmate before she even came to WWE. So she was exceptional. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the watch along. We're going to try to find another WrestleMania to watch maybe Sunday. And maybe we'll do another watch along next week too, if we don't do one for Sunday. But we'll definitely, oh no, we can't do one next week. We got to do WrestleMania predictions next week. Next week is WrestleMania. So, thank you guys. Candice Michelle was my first Playboy magazine. Yikes. That's good though. At least you know her from somewhere. You have history. You have history with her. It's like you're married. You never forget your first. Anyway, thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.